Well, what's up, guys? Welcome back. This is my maybe second or third time trying to upload this video. Like, my storage is wilding right now. But anyway, let's get right into it. To be built or move-in ready, that is the question. Now, when you're considering new construction, it really depends, as a lot of things, on what matters for your situation. But let's talk through both. To be built, this is ideal for the buyer that is not pressed for time, that is able to work with the complexities that is new construction, the unknown, the uncertainty that happens with building a house from the ground up. Now, before you release a lot or phase, there's things in the back office that builders have to do, permitting that needs to happen in order to start the building process. And sometimes those things can pop up, and now a process that was supposed to be this time frame is now this time frame. So you have to be flexible to know that these things are largely out of your control. For instance, when I was with a specific builder, we could usually have a home completed in about, please pardon me, in about 4.5 months from dirt to finish. Once COVID happened, we had material shortages, labor issues, that quickly ticked up to about 6 months. And this was for our more so entry level products. So the products that were bigger, had different materials, it ticked up because their starting point was 6 months. So you can imagine that shifted to about 9 months for our move up product, if you will. I remember in one of the communities I had, it was a very, very, very successful community. And we didn't have any problems. This was pre COVID. So we had our timeline pretty much, like, the infrastructure was set. We were like pretty much, getting the homes to close in the desired time frame so we could give buyers, even though there was still some level of uncertainty, we could give buyers a pretty good time frame within the contract of their target closing dates. And many times, more often than not, we were able to uphold that closing date. But with this particular neighborhood, there was something that happened with, it was called like a sewer moratorium. So there was something with the plumbing that could not be passed until the county got that clear. So I had buyers, and I was selling more of an entry level product at the time. I had buyers that came in, my gosh, I want to say sometime early within maybe the first or second quarter of that year. And the process just went on and on and on. Like, we were able to proceed with building their actual home, but they could not close until the city rectified the issue that they had. So the buyers were not able to close until the following year of like January or February. When I tell you, it was a total nightmare, and understandably so. You can imagine the angst, the frustration that the buyers were dealing with, but it was literally not a builder thing. It was a builder non-issue. It was a county issue that the builder was, susceptible to. So that's just an issue where you can go in with this expectation of a certain time frame, but that time frame ends up being another time frame. And now, depending on the builder, things are taking longer to be built. The more custom your home is, the more changes you make. It really is just going to depend on availability of products. And sometimes the product will run out. So you wanted these white cabinets, and now you got to switch to these off white cabinets, and that ends up delaying the overall process. So there's just a ton of unknown with to be built. And from a financial side, if you have a lender, and which most people will, most people aren't doing cash purchases, but if you're able to have a lender, you're able to lock in a rate depending on the program within 30, 60 days. I mean, some will have extended rate locks that may come with you paying a little bit more up front. There's nuance and everything to financial things that I won't get into because it'll be very lender specific. But if you can't lock in an interest rate until 60 days out, then you're going to be more susceptible to the volatility of the market. And it depends on when you're buying about how stable or not the rates may be. So, if that's a thing for you, then maybe you should lean toward a finished inventory home where everything's already done. You are able to close in 30, 45 days. You can lock in that rate earlier. And so there's just less of an unknown with an inventory home in that regard. Now, let's talk about the inventory homes and where not a downside, but just something you need to consider. If you're a very picky person and the builder has selected sarsaparilla cabinets and you just really love a white cabinet and the kitchen is too dark, well, you may have to sacrifice something from an aesthetic standpoint in order to move in because financially you need to lock in that rate at a specific time. So you may have to overlook the home not having the color floors you want, the color cabinets you want. You may have to overlook it not being the lot that you want. You may have wanted to be in a cul-de-sac lot, and now you have to be, um, now you have to sacrifice that and be on an interior lot with the neighbor on each side. So there is just a lot of not really give and take, but just things that you need to consider for both because what works for one may not work for the other. And again, there is a strategy that you should be working alongside a realtor with to decide which is going to be best for you. I hope this video was helpful. I'm coming up on the time frame. I usually like to keep these videos, so I will end here. If you have any other questions, please let me know. But this really gives you a good generality on to be built versus inventory homes and really kind of gives you at least an idea of things you need to be thinking about while you're considering which route you want to go. If you want any additional help, please don't hesitate to reach out. I am happy to assist. And whatever you do, get real estate with Sheena. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Take care.